So time I catch them say in way Bawumia meet the press no. They took money from the coffers, Ghana for sika and the mamo. Ya calculate it's almost 3.2 million. Titi Ghana's cano almost 32 billion and chama in centrophobi. Aden so ma be shia Bawumia. Na yatia and a MPP deny say they did not pay any day and America Aboagye teams because the democracy ye sa by you from 20,000 from 5,000 to Ghana 50 million to Ghana no 200 million. And the Bawumia nyesika miti press keke money pa bako 50 million between 50 million old Ghana and 200 million.
Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Bawumia meet the press. You catch them say journalist call you to be 50,000 Ghana. You to be 30,000 Ghana. 20,000. Happy birthday Nana Jantwa. Me say usika na woji and be boss chire. Nana, happy birthday o na bibia boko de. But waje. Oko enkran no omo ma usika 30 beka. Would be at your rent? Would it be in points? Nana beka Nana Jantwa woji. Now you're going to see how a party. Happy birthday Nana Jantwa Nana. If you want to see a party be a party omon kind of cry. And yeah, one day a statue which when you want hypocrisy in Ghana, it starts from the journalists. Some journalists in Ghana are hypocrites. Mr. P, Mr. S, get me that poster of Herbert Fable when we're talking about journalists who have taken appointment under Ekufuado. I think he's at Petroleum Commission. Get that guy's picture with that particular. If you can find it, just build a poster for me. Herbert Fable, that's his name, right? I think I got the first one wrong. Herbert Fable. Ope Ghana, Oma say Ghana, majority Oma contributed to the destruction of Ghana. A journalist be. Some of the journalists in Ghana, Oma say Ghana, and it didn't start with this group of journalists though. This group of journalists learned from the ones they came to meet in the system. Majority of the so-called old journalists. No, I don't know anything. Your friend is senior journalist. Stupid statement to me. There's nothing like senior journalist. What makes somebody senior journalist? Nothing makes somebody senior journalist. More system from old journalists, hypocrisy, any chrono, any azar, any atrom chino, and none some of these young ones they have learned and into almost exhibited side and there. In terms of a whole political party, a vice president of a republic. Don't see Bawumia as just a mere flag bearer. He is still at the Jubilee House. He is the vice president of this country. Into every single thing that today Ebesi Bawumia Campono, it affects the vice president's office because that his position is still intact. So don't see Bawumia as a flag bearer. See Bawumia as the vice president of the republic. That is why we still address him as vice president of the republic. Sanka Bawumia is not connected to the Jubilee House. Sanka Bawumia activities, Nejuma Oye, Nekasa Okano, if it wasn't connected to the Jubilee House, he wouldn't have been called vice president now. But as we speak, Bawumia is a vice president of this republic. Inti Adibia Bawumia, even though the campaign or the campaign team, he is still drawing every single resource from the Jubilee House. Because as we sit here, Mahamudu Bawumia Kanchel say he has raised this amount of money for his campaign. We never heard Bawumia a fundraiser. He raised this amount of money for his campaign. So it means every single money Bawumia is pumping into this campaign is coming from where he works. And where does he work? He works at the Jubilee House. And to do not write it off. That Ben out is Bawumia so fundraiser. He raises sika when they run the campaign. No. At least we saw the NDC, John Mahama, go to the Ashanti region, go to the Savannah region. We saw them raise funds. But once about Bawumia campaign, have you heard say, I'm raising fund $2, $3, 20 Ghana? No. Every single money is coming from the presidency. Every single money is coming from this government. And do not isolate Bawumia from the seat of government. In the Sanda Bawumia press conference, meeting the presser, every single thing he says, he said it as a flag bearer / the vice president. And also every single money Abu say Bawumia campaign, because as far as I know, Bawumia fundraiser bien raises say and no free the campaign, it's coming from the Jubilee House. Because we know Bawumia does one job. He owns the campaign. So every single money that comes into the campaign comes from Bawumia. The same way NDC, you know, because they want people to see the transparency in the party, you know, they started raising funds so that people will know, say, the monies they are using in their campaign, you know, it is coming from where? It is coming from the funds they raised. But as far as we know, NPP Bawumia and raising funds, so every money is coming from Bawumia. Now, on some boy, we Miracle Aboagye omode journalist free the whole of Ghana. Ediom begu eye in crime. And Yebusa almost said they have paid journalists money, some of them. And I'm saying, no, we never paid any media house. 20,000, highest was 5,000. Inti almost started almost someone to later, and a boy we are Miracle Aboagye or no any kasama former Bawumia campaign. It says, Mr. P. Oh, you have all of that. Guys, thank you. I wasn't expecting all, but I'm going to use all. Thank you. Now, so tell me, Becca Chiramo say, in Kofowe, Bawumia meet the person. They took money from the coffers, Ghana Fosika and the Mamo. Yeah, calculate it's almost 3.2 million. Titi Ghana's Gano almost 32 billion. And Omuchama in Centrophobi, Aden Soma Bishia Bawumia. Na yetia and MPP deny say, oh, they did not pay any day. And Miracle Aboagye teams because oh, the Amokas yetia de yentia sa, but yetia from 20,000, from 5,000 to Ghana 50 million to Ghana no 200 million. And the Bawumia nyesika miti press keke money pa bako 50 million, between 50 million old Ghana and 200 million. Ya de ma journalist, ya kra journalist abetna crying. Napko fosika yentia ye. Ya kra journalist ya di play na form. Ya di play na form over the hotel. Ye fidi omo. Ema omo kono. Ya sa omo tete Ghana scan 50 million and not 200 million. Miracle Aboagye odi Bawumia campaign him say de tia ye no. Really? In this uko wedim na o checke omo campaign no Bawumia media encounter. I received 10,000, not 20,000 journalists. In Centrophobi, etumi akachre news outlets be say, oh, sikane de ye receive bi na ye receive ni nyina ye mu bi de ye nya 100 million. Tie. We nya sama ye didi agro de sesre o. Journalists ni bi say ye de ye mu bi ni ye nya 100 million. Ebi say oh, samoka si ye nya 400 million dia moboa na ye mu bi ni de ye nya 100 million. Inti mamon ka say ye nya 200 million. This is the NPP government under Bawumia. Almost omunya 100 million. Memi enka say omunya de omunya 200 million. Now that is one. Let's slow down. Maybe chawa there. Oh guys, I'm lining up the pictures. And yes, I did with that. And it's important here back Ghana for why we are here today, because some of the journalists in Ghana, they are criminals, they are liars. Omano enomode say Ghana no omano enomode Bawumia eni Akufo-Addo bae because mumudo do you were not listening to the truth. And until ende yaba bedru hande Ghana sika sama saying it is because we allowed some of these journalists to lie to us. We were not asking questions because ya more room no. Now, shall be a see. I want to show you something. Wait, every Paul Adomochre, right? And the Paul Adomochre agent TV so say, oh, journalists near Momusika, any problem biya. Then the journalist eja ho Sunday we jana yire ho eja ne ba ho aba be di Bawumia abeti Bawumia press conference na ya tam 200 million ma journalist. Ya tam 50 million ma journalist. Paul Adomochre agent TV so catch Ghana for say what is the big deal? Muntie Paul Adomochre. Osi journalist no kra no Sunday na omo ni omo yire nem nete omo ni omo girlfriends de ho and Bawumia from so omo into omo job obusu ho no na ya tam 200 million ama journalist over 250. We are talking about 30 billion old Ghana ya tam momo Bawumia na de sa sika no ma omo. And yenya journalist or Ghana agent TV so catch say it is not a big deal.
Presidential candidates for the NPP, and they say that journalists, when their journalists were paid 20,000, that's corruption. Let's get to the story. So, this is what we wrote. Journalists don't have to be paid to attend Bawumia's press conference, but they need to be sufficiently compensated. Shouldn't they? And viewers, I ask you the question. Shouldn't they be sufficiently compensated? Yes, we understand that journalists are not to be paid. Their media houses pays them. The salaries for media houses. But they have to be compensated. I don't see the hula baloo about it. You are holding a press conference on a Sunday. The journalists who are married and have children, they are spending time with their family on a Sunday. The journalists who are not married, they are spending time with their girlfriend and boyfriend on a Sunday. They are watching football on a Sunday. They'll come to work on Monday. You asked them to come to Kempinski on Sunday, and we all think that they shouldn't be compensated. Some of the journalists came from outside Accra. Those who are coming from outside Accra, they should buy their own bus ticket and plane ticket to come from Tamale to Accra to cover Bawumia's press conference. What kind of hypocrisy is this? I do not understand it. What kind of hypocrisy is this? And why are we following after people who are not leading us astray? People who are not demonstrating any capacity to produce thinking. Those who are not demonstrating, they are demonstrating actually zero capacity to produce any thinking. All they know is insults. And why are we following them on this tangent? What is the point? That Bawumia gave journalists money and so something must come down, all hell must break loose. He's calling a press conference on a Sunday. He's inviting the journalists to come. It will be irresponsible of the Bawumia campaign to invite journalists to come from all over the country to come and sit at the moving pic, listen to him, produce the stories out of it, and compensate them for nothing. It will be irresponsible. It will be the height of irresponsibility on the Bawumia campaign. So as we say, journalists don't have to be paid to attend Bawumia's press conference, but they need to be sufficiently compensated. Journalists don't have to be paid to attend Bawumia's press conference, but they need to be sufficiently compensated. Shouldn't they? What's wrong with this? And that's the point I was making. Sami Jefi should come and tell me that when the journalists came to John Mohammed's press conference, he didn't pay them anything. He didn't compensate them for anything. If he didn't, he's a very wicked man. And he's an irresponsible director of communication for a former president. That you call
this is foolishness. Afewati, these are the journalists you people are listening to. Did any journalist come out to tell you, say, NDC year press conference, and John Mohammed meet the press? Did any journalist come to say, Yamana one city? You see, these are the people I talk about. Paul go die. He is a walking lie. Today, payment has become compensation. You see what I keep telling you? These people, mo chance. Baby. You see, suddenly, a whole government in power, a vice president, free because as far as I know, Bawumia didn't have any fundraiser to tell me this money is coming from here. Atam almost 30 billion old Ghana. Ediama journalist attached 500 million, 400 million, 100 million. Ediama journalist because also a press conference Sunday. Ain't I was all time abain sika. Not journalist, so Paul is or a journalist. Or Bejina TV say it's compensation. Now you see this man. Your friend Egbert Fable. These people are the NDC, any idea Omudia Egbert Fable, time at Amel's president and Mahama Bear president, he was a very vocal person. Not occupy Ghana. Or a journalist. Women from senior journalists, they know nothing. They are criminals who you people refuse to interrogate, to assess. These are chain smokers who took advantage of majority of you guys, your ignorance, those times. And then what they did was they fed you people with lies, the hatred which was in them. They made it a point to say, so they will gang up and destroy that government. These are the people who called themselves journalists. Almost destroy mo Ghana for it. Egbert Fable, now on the publisher, Ghanaian Observer newspaper. Mokai. Ekufuado ba power and the CEO of National Petroleum Commission and the Oko Petroleum Commissioner. A journalist who was on the sideline saying politicians then, the politicians he hated in the NDC government, in the Atamos government, in the Mahama government, they are bad. We need to be the watchmen. We need to be the third eye. Make sure we speak for the people. Ekufuado ba power and the Petroleum Commissioner. But do you know one thing? When John Mahama was in power, they organized GJA Awards. And I think there was a press conference at the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House, they used to call it. And I don't know, I think some journalists were, as Paul Admochi would say, compensated for coming to the event. these people, led by Egbert Fable, Kwame Sifakain, Kweku Bako, they went to sit on Joy News. Eye halitosis. Your friend, Samson Ayenini, he was the moderator. They sat on News File and made the world believe, say, what the NDC government, under their government, journalists, Flagstaff House, press conference, Emma, Paul Adumochi will say they have been compensated. They made it look like, say, the NDC government, John Mahama, or a Kronfo will be. In fact, the real story, it wasn't even about anybody paying, it was people going to an event. Now, Muntie the submission on News File about time John Mahama president. Almost say journalists be echo enfa Flagstaff House. Muntie
organizes GJ Awards. So at the end of every journalism year, journalists who have excelled are appreciated, so to speak. So I think that what happened, using what happened at the Flagstaff House as a dashboard,
which is not new. It's been going on from time immemorial.
It is not new, but you see, I think that it stinks. It stinks. And I don't see how anybody will look the average Ghanaian in the face, eyeball to eyeball, and seek to rationalize what happened. I fundamentally have been a journalist for some time, and I want to say that, look, it's our time we sought a clear distinction between, the solely, as we know, like a journalist, a young rookie reporter comes on assignment and is, going away. You look at him or her and say, look, take 20 Ghana cedis for transportation. Take maybe 50 Ghana cedis for transportation. Those ones, I think that we need to compartmentalize them and let people understand that you cannot really, describe as something to influence the journalists.
Are you a member of Occupy Ghana?
Yes, I am a member of Occupy Ghana. Now, moving from there, even when you come to the corporate world, there are brands. And these brands always want visibility in the media. So they even prepare their own, advertorials and give it to a journalist or a media house to roll out as if it is an independently researched thing. We call it PR. But when you are in government, you ought to be careful. You ought to be careful. You see, when a journalist takes money from the corporate world to push a brand, and I don't want to mention any brand because of all kinds of whatever that we have, you can look at it and blink an eye. But when it comes from the seat of government, who were called? They say senior editors, senior journalists. These are the gatekeepers. If it was a rookie journalist, some young journalist who was called and was given that amount, I would have looked at it in a different light. But these are gatekeepers. They sieve the information and decide what ought to be given to the reading public. And as far as I'm concerned, when you have a gatekeeper in your pocket, then the reading, consuming, or watching, consuming public is dead. Now, just a few weeks or months after that, we also see Julius Debra also caught in the same vortex. What is it at the presidency that is making the sharing of money a way of life?
So I take it that you endorse Occupy Ghana's statement that is saying that the president should publicly denounce this and ask the Flagstaff House and government department ministries to stop giving such things forthwith.
The presidency is a place where policy is taught through and supervised and compliance ensured. All of a sudden, we are seeing the presidency being, if you like, a microfinance.
And he should at least reprimand the chief of staff for this?
Reprimand is even a small.
I see. That's very interesting.
So you see, this is what they did. They were saying, say, a press conference was held at the Flagstaff House during Mahama's time. And these radio hosts, from journalists, they were like, the president should take responsibility that some journalists came to the Jubilee House and were given transportation back. Now today, Samson Ayenini, Kweku Bako, Egbert Fable, who is now the CEO of Ghana Petroleum Commission, ask them the same question. That is why you see a fool like Paul stand on TV to say that today there's no problem with it. But when John Mahama was president, these people had serious issues. You see, when John Mahama was president, they were even saying because journalists came to the Jubilee Flagstaff House and were given compensation, transport, it's a crime. It should never happen. Do you know when Bawumia met the press, Samson Ayenini was there? Ask him, did he take money? Samson Ayenini went to Bawumia's event as a press man on the Friend Home Press. Let us ask Samson Ayenini, who was the host of this particular episode, that did he take money? And how different is this money from that one they were discussing when John Mahama was president? When we are dangerous. Samson Ayenini took 50,000 Ghana when he went to the event because they gave him that handbag with a manifesto and a white envelope in it. That is how much Samson Ayenini took. 500 million old Ghana cedis. So tomorrow or Saturday when he sits on Newsfile, ask him, you are the same person discussing this issue on Newsfile. How do you see it today? It was wrong yesterday. Is it right today? You were there the day they had the event. How much did you take? Samson took 500 million old Ghana. 50,000. Debi Amekachira must say, these are dangerous people. Hey? MPP bar power. All the journalists who were on radio, Omo Lambasti, John Mahamani at Tamils, they were not doing it because it was factual. They were doing it because they were all MPP. They wanted the NDC government out. NDC going out of power, it wasn't their fault. Whatever they did, the press that was supposed to push the government, the good works of the government, it was deliberate. They decided not to do it. It is hatred. It was tribalism mixed with foolishness. So it was an agenda. And sometimes we say, I didn't Ghana for the NDC. It wasn't NDC's fault totally. It was some journalists who had hijacked most of the media houses, and then they decided to destroy whatever this country was building. From 2010 all the way to 26, they decided to destroy it. Because the idea was that we wanted the NPP to come in and then we will make money. That is why Egbert Fable today is the CEO of Ghana Petroleum Authority, a commission. Ghana Petroleum Commission. Egbert Fable, who was sitting on TV screaming and saying he's a news reporter and he has not seen some before. Today he's an appointee of Ekufuado. Now let's go back. How the NPP, how they hijacked the system. Do not trust anybody sitting behind the mic and tell you me a journalist, me a radio host. You need to listen to the facts. Majority of them are crazy people. They are liars. They use you people to make money. From Atamel's time, ABC Mahama time, most of these journalists, normal life are ended. No be any 1,000 Ghana than accounting. I'm telling you. Egbert Fable, Kwame Sefakai, Kwekuba Akumani, Paul, they didn't have a dime. They saw that they were growing, they were dying. They needed an opportunity to also make money for themselves and their girlfriends and their wives and then their family. So they had to make sure the NDC government to get out of power. And until today, Paul Adomotre is the head board chair of the Ghana Airport, Kotoka. It is not just by mere chance. That is the work they did. They are not gatekeepers. They are the miners. They are not gatekeepers. These people are not gatekeepers. They are the pure political miners. They allow the politicians to stay top. No more form. Political galamseyers. They are down there digging. Then Ekufuado will be up there thinking everything is rosary. They are the ones digging. These are the political galamseyers. Now here, Ekufuado about power. See all these journalists, the positions they have been given, and we have done this so many times. And the best this Kojo Oponkroma not in Joy News. Kojo Oponkroma used to be a broadcast journalist, Joy News, multimedia. He has a problem with the government. Why is the NDC not doing this right? Why is the NDC not doing right? MPP bar power and the Wabe minister. Because the agenda was that, let's find a way to stop this NDC. It does not matter when they build a chip compounds. So Musi Commander Sugar Factory, when they build KJTR, when they build airport, when they build chip compounds, when they build universities, when they build e-blocks, when they build water for Mampong people around the nation, when they construct road, when they do interchanges, let us find a way and let the people think say NDC in papa. So these are the people who sat on radio and they manipulated your minds. Now look at this person. These people are all around. Ask them what's going on. Now, who is this person? This is Kofi Asare Brako. Oh no, not our infant. He used to work at the Peace Multimedia Asempa, MPP Bar Power, and the critical PRO Sports Ministry. I don't know whether he's still there. I'm not radio, so now I'm the sports, politics. Hey, yeah, but African Capo Nation, like the doom. Hey, as somewhere they been see that. I buy Fumbeni, yes. And almost Asempa. The whole thing is directed at the Yako World Cup. And the Monkoshe, yes, Black Star, yes, a Tom Sike Free Ghana, I bet you Black Star almost salaries. Then almost pay them. Yet Kromha. Yet the $245 million. $245 million. I organize it, all African games. You need Park Ghana. You bet to also. Yakoto data over 5.2 million. Opening ceremony almost $6 million. GBC $6 million. Yenya abedi 2 year at the 15 days and you $15 million. These people are still with you. And you call these people journalists. These are the galamsayers. When I say they are foolish, I know sometimes we begin some time. Say Ghana. These are the people. Now see this person. You people need to be aggressive on them. Who is this person? This is Paul Adumochiri. And the Paul Adumochiri Paul Adumochiri is the board chair of Ghana Kotoka International Airport. Ghana, your airport is so Ghana Air Kotoka. It is all about America. We have big airport. Uko California, Uko Dallas, Uko. But JFK is very famous because it is in New York. It is our time JFK, a journalist, a mere broadcast journalist seems to manage JFK. A foolish man who tried to copy his colleagues' work. A foolish man who, at the end of the day, stands on TV with a condom stuck to his dick, pretending to be a Christian. This is what I'm talking about. Today, what makes you think this guy will come on TV and tell you about your economic situation? He won't, because he has been appointed, or he has been appointed by Ekufuado. He works for Ekufuado. Okay? This guy, he sat in front of John Mahama for John Mahama to explain what he was doing, even with SADA. John Mahama, way back as a vice president, that was when he brought the idea that SADA should be implemented. And you know one funny thing? This fool Paul Adumochiri, Onunenim na John Mahama Chen why SADA, and Onunenim na John Mahama Ka say, under my leadership as the vice president, and started to be a friend of transition. We didn't have anything called transition in Ghana's government. Abayin Sisa, na yenya a committee that takes care of the transition. John Mahama na de baye. Because he wanted the free flow of power. No, he did not want it to be chaotic. And John Mahama, vice president, he introduced. It was through his effort as the vice president, and I be a friend of transition. Ya to abewie, ya beti committee, making sure you be a smooth transition. John Mahama. This was the guy who sat before John Mahama, and John Mahama church the nyoma we muchire kwasiawe. He has been wearing the Vietnam thing, not today. And where does he work? Under the board chair of the board chair of Ghana Kotoka International Airport. And if you think I'm lying, let's take a break. And I'm in show idea. This is John Mahama, 2011.
Vice President Mr. John Dramani Mahama has
and then 3 days.
And that's one of the things that we need to look at.
After the election, then came transition and then the nomination.
There was no transition.
There was
virtually.
Okay, because you had a 3rd January declaration and then 3 days.
And that's one of the things that we need to look at. We need to come up with a presidential transition bill, so that from the time that we have elections, if there's the need for a second round, we would still have enough time, for if government is passing over from one party to another, for the two parties to engage and go through a proper transition. We had a very disorganized transition in the year 2001, and we had another even more disorganized transition in the current transfer of power. And I think that is something that we need to deal with once and for all.
The president's nominations then came up, nominations for ministerial appointments, and that's where
these are the termites. John Mahama introduced the presidential transition bill. They be in Ghana. We are no better na kofo free power, way free power. No, we are. This is the fool who sat before John Mahama as a vice president in 2009, I think so. And Okachira will say, through my effort, I don't go for John Mahama. Time I know a vice president. John Mahama introduced SADA as vice president even before he became president. I do not John Mahama woma a yedien or woma a yesrimno ne ene bi na nkwasiafo ba umia wono. He sat before John Mahama and he explained to him. And there are so many interviews that John Mahama made this guy understand. But today, this fool stands on TV and try to insult John Mahama. Why? Because they don't see you people as intelligent. So they stay in Accra, they wear some Vietnam suits, TV, na condom no oba jantre ni biti studio ho and no bon adwene because why will say or she suit into nyansa. These are the dangerous people in our community and in our country. It is some of the journalists are dangerous. Don't sit here and say me time. It is what they have done. It is what they have done. Omano some enrano and a mede assess your mwende. Into somebody assess now you're hypocrite. You don't think about Ghanaians. That is why they say we insult. No, we are using their own words. We are going back to bring back near the compende. That is why we see them today. Now, who is this? We are going to do this kakra Obia Abehu Kweku Sechi Ado. When John Mahama Atamils them were in power, Kweku 1-on-1, he will look through and he will bring somebody. Oh, this guy is an expert in energy. Let's talk about energy. What are you saying? Oh, the government should have done this. Now, also a news file, also a multimedia. Joy News, no, the agenda is to destroy NDCO. That is the Joy News. Multimedia, cocaine media, no. Oh, we are near the NCA board, so ende Kweku Sechi Ado or Ekufuado appointee. So don't sit in Ghana and say, oh, these people are working for you. No. Majority of Omoanomuti radio, Omoanomuti TV, some general, about 80%, they are not working for you. They are working for some people they feel, say, they are entitled to be their president. And today, they are all finding it difficult to speak because now, where is Kweku Sechi Ado? I thought Kweku 1-on-1 was one of the best shows. Why is he not still continuing it? Because today, when he starts to do that, and now try the position he has been given, he will be stripped off. Ekufuado about power, appointees. And Ekufuado deliberately picked journalists. The greedy ones that were working for him when he was in opposition. One of the most daft politicians in Ghana, Ekufuado. Ebi amwan steady. One day I'll do that for you. Hey, you have a politician wa bomba Ekufuado. Ekufuado knows nothing. But we make Ekufuado be Ekufuado. These are the people when you automatically them scramble eye kumi prekono and umkota Ekufuado be see another demonstration set in him and I'm saying the whole kumi prekono is about Ekufuado. Ekufuado, he does not have the brains to lead. Now, my mentor, who is this? Yabetro Bia. Send a bell more cassa radio so I can say, as me see what that dame. Who is this person? This person is called Malik Dabu. Now, Oye Jumaway, multimedia. Now, you're head of political desk. Omu decided what to speak when the news item comes, which one to talk on, which one to speak on. Omu twist the story as an editor. Ekufuado about power. PRO, Ghana Maritime Authority. And the Onene Kasama former Ghana Maritime Authority. Busa who say, are these not the gatekeepers? Today the gatekeepers are rather sleeping in the house. And you, the citizenry, you have become the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers today are the masters. Now, are you beginning to understand? They are playing you people. Some few politicians, because they had an agenda. Sanko for me majority no over 45. Na nche no mabrabona ende omu nyina okay. They have been given positions. Akufo-Addo, that's how he has run your country for 8 years. And this coup Akufo-Addo did, from 2014 and 2015, Akufo-Addo did this coup 2008 and started here. So they infiltrated, and then they've got the ones who were tribal, who were greedy, and the ones who were basically for anything. They started using them. Egbert Fable, no, a member of Occupy Ghana. Isankuma Way. Where is Isankuma? Where is Isankuma? Isankuma Way. It's been a while you heard about Isankuma, right? Ask yourself why. What is going on? Why is Isankuma, who was so passionate about Ghana issues, Ghana politics, every Saturday sitting on news file? Jimmy. Where is Isankuma? Isankuma's wife works for the government. She takes over 700,000 Ghana a month. Where is Isankuma? Why should he come on TV? Ade na ombeka Ghana honsem e TV so. Ade akrono cost na yire dwuma mbono. Na onu Isankuma deals are aban edeman because basically he is the one who fronts for government edien. Oba aban court cases a majority in Isankuma ni di enim. And what they do is, because there's an attorney general, anytime the attorney general wants to pay a private individual, no mu lose the case, no makofa Isankuma as the lawyer, the attorney general will lose the case. So they go back, they take the money from the government and they split it. They shop, they go judge shopping. 442 na mechra. Me say what I know. If I tell you everything, because NSA Ghana there, MPP no, omangasa no, de ye akan drama. Me say, Isankuma, on it, there's a case at Whitechapel, the man who owned Whitechapel. They played him. Isankuma represented the other party that was fighting the Whitechapel man. And Attorney General Kachi Jankuma said they should use the judge. At the end of the day, about 3 cases. Is Anan Ankuma, you know what they did? They will meet the Attorney General. They will discuss the matter. The Attorney General will not be interested in the case. So what will happen is that Isankuma automatically will win the case. In Tisikana, Senipanepe, judgment debt and as a compensation, only $200 million. When they go, Attorney General takes 70%. The owner takes 70%. Isankuma, any Attorney General split the 30. Into it was Isankuma is a good lawyer. Messi Isankuma Owen. So where is this guy? I thought he was the gatekeeper. He was going to fight for you, irrespective of the political party in power. No, they sit there and they fool you. Some of them. Now, no problem. Who is this guy? This guy is called Mark Okrekumante. Mamu refuse anyoma with you. Mesemu Musa and something ayenini Saturday morning that when he went to the Bawumia presser, how much did he take? He took 50,000 Ghana, 500 million old Ghana. Something ayenini. Now, Mark Okrekumante, media practitioners rewarded since 2017. Now, or a programs manager, Hits FM Multimedia. Now, on a deputy tourism minister. Mark Okrekumante, he cannot even express himself. But this is what these people did. They sat on radio. They are just radio reporters. So they are not journalists. Though. This guy has no knowledge about journalism. So they'll call them, oh, these people are on radio. Oh, they are speaking. No, they just speak on radio. I want to say, wow. Now, MPP about power now quick. And the man, the minister. Odo kwasi atiwo na nkofo we say media no everything the NDC did for Ghana the creative sector na creative sector no these people never appreciated it. Every day Marco Krekuma to our problem. It was during Atamil's Mahama time, especially Mahama time, and Akuma would be Jinan and also Gali would say the Jinan and also it was during Mahama's time. Time and Amoka said Dumsa Bakrano, Kuma would not a Dahujinan and also in Kwasiafu with a Tina TV so every Saturday things are not going well, and you know, and then your any movie industry it is dead. Majority of them have become beggars. They have become comedians. They have become skits. We have just wasted talent because of people like these. Akufo-Addo about power. Position. They all work for Akufo-Addo. So don't think say, oh, they are working in your interest. Interest my fault. Thank you, Mr. S. Let me show them before I move forward. Messi Esankuma, where is Esankuma? Is Anan Ankuma? Omonomutumina TV. So Esankuma ne be occupy Ghana. Ghana na say, let us occupy Jubilee House, occupy Flagstaff House. Esankuma ne yirini. This is Esankuma's wife. EcoBank Kenya appoint Josephine Anan Ankuma as new managing director. Ekufuado ba power ni moving straight. Kwasia, what was it? Esankuma is fighting for you. Esankuma yirini. This was a purely political influenced appointment. Time and ama also we nya position bia o ni yire nya bibia omo ye deda no mo pamo NDC and no mo de omo yire nom. Esankuma yire nie. Now you say Sankuma we Jimmy Saturday wa betan his far. Aka say Kufuor de aba we akromfo. Na yire ye pamo ne. That is what we tell you. These are dirty people. They don't care about you. Mono, they be a kind of question, and you allow these fools to lie to you every single day. Mr. S. This woman is in the Japadia book. Do you know that? A Japadia book, you know. Omoka say, Ejuma Esankuma ya momo, ebie edien, occupy Flagstaff House, occupy Jubilee House, and then they will make sure Esankuma ireno to a very important role in the banking sector. Send ebeya ebeboa, they can actually enter EcoBank. Inti Ejapadia book, Mr. S can pull. When we find a particular page, we will circulate for you to see. Inti Esankuma munina no mo agenda no ho. Ejapadia agenda no. Thank you, Mr. S. Thank you, team. My team just brought the part where Esankuma's wife is mentioned in the Ejapadia book. My read it and show. Ote Ghana na go forward adamo. And I'm from with Jimmy because some of you people you too for amonte. This is the Ejapadia book. My show. Esankuma yere part ni entwaso. This is the Esankuma wife part no. Eya de Ejapadia book no page 6. Yan kan na menchechire mu nchiro EcoBank. Esankuma way. EcoBank. We have two routes of entry into this institution. First is through SNIT, which has a seat on the board of EcoBank Ghana by virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of SNIT. In phase 2 of our agenda, Kofi Bosompim Osafomafo, who is a Deputy Director General of SNIT, should be made the DG, that's the Director General, to give him the seat on the EcoBank Ghana board. Secondly, the wife of Ace Ankuma is the group head of commercial banking and a member of the executive management of the EcoBank group. Our intelligence is that both the role of the group CEO and managing director of EcoBank Ghana will become vacant in the next 2 to 3 years. Nana has been advised to use all diplomatic avenues to support Ace Ankuma's wife to fill one of these impending vacancies. Afiwohu, Ejapadia page 6. Ace Anana Ankuma ne yiri din sheho. Into ba say Ace Ankuma sorry back just Kufuor aban nye. They were on the side, they had signed agreement with the Kufuor move. So all the things they were doing, they were destroying the NDC. They didn't care. They wanted to come in.
PENDREAM TV now so far so good. Say open online portal Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV. I see say a lot of people are moving from the traditional media to the social media. And PENDREAM, you are setting the pace because you bring the issues as they are. And the those are the issues. And then Unipa are not ready for just ordinary endorsement. But people want to hear the issues. What are the issues? What are the possible solutions? So for me, I'm endorsing PENDREAM TV. And I'm recommending, say, Obi Biana who affiliated traditional media and why you're bored with it, I'm going to live up to expectation. Your next last stop, PENDREAM TV.